You have now joined the It Couple Podcast Show. Let me introduce our hosts, Laura and Xavier.
Well, welcome back. This is Xavier here with Laura.
Yeah, I'm way over here.
Well, we've had a very interesting, I guess we call it election season thing, tour.
Interesting. Sure, we'll go with that.
It's been exhausting, really.
Yes, I know. Like, I receive texts and calls and
random people at the door.
Yeah, and ads and brochures, and I voted. Leave me alone.
Yes, we both voted. Mail-in ballots for the win. Knocked it out early. No standing in line. No waiting to go inside of a building.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's a lot of people out there that has to do that, and they have to do that.
Yes, you really should vote.
Whether you vote for the people we picked or against the people we picked, your voice should be heard. And that's what's more important than anything, that people aren't just being silent.
I feel like as long as you do your research, then you voted for the right person. Now, if you don't do research, then I think you need to do research.
Which brings up the point of what we did when we did our research. It's something we saw that was severely lacking for these people who want to call themselves qualified candidates.
Yeah. We were, okay, so, we had our mail-in ballots. So, we actually, which if you don't do mail-in ballots and you go to a poll, I would suggest going online and finding a ballot. You can print out a sample ballot or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's like a gazillion things on there and you need to do your research before going into the poll because that's not the place to do research.
And do the research. Put there, Google your city, town, ballot, get that.
So, so what we did is, we had our mail-in ballots, and so we're like, Googling them and going on YouTube and trying to see what they had to say about, why they're running and what their, points are.
Yeah,
and
what do they kind of believe in, other than just saying I'm red, I'm blue.
So
what else?
So, the first couple were, the bigger ones and, so it was a lot easier for us to find information on them. But as we started getting into the state and the county and, and all these very
waste
specific,
and stuff like that.
We had circuit judge from, section 3. I don't know. It was a lot of crazy things and these oddball kind of people. And we had less and less luck with finding them online. A couple of them we found on Facebook, and
which really wasn't a great thing because on their Facebook profile was just a regular Facebook profile.
Yeah. It was go vote for me, and and it's okay, but why?
We didn't get that off one of them. One of them, I remember we went there and it was just their Facebook.
Yeah.
It's if you went to my Facebook, but I wasn't running, it was like that.
Yeah, but I mean, those are the ones that actually had something online. There were so many of them. We Googled them and we're like,
there's nothing. Or there was a third party site that just had generic information about what the position does.
Yeah,
or
there was some site we found that I don't know, it had something to do with ballots or whatever, and it if they found info online, they would link it there, so sometimes a picture would actually pop up, but I mean most of the time it was just their names. It was just as much info on there as you would get on your ballot, and it's how am I supposed to make an educated decision about who to vote for when I don't know who these people are?
Yeah, I mean this was really hard. So you can't. I don't know who these. I'm just gonna throw a random name out there. This Jeffrey's character is. If there's no, you can't put up your phone and put up a YouTube video with your name and what you want to do. That should be, I think, bare minimum. For getting yourself an online presence.
Yeah, in today's day and age. Yes, that is you bare minimum what you need to do. I mean, I am the type of person that, if I get referred to a place, that's one thing. But if I have to go search for, I want to go find a hair salon or whatever, I go Google it. And I'm sorry, if you have no online presence except for that Google found you have this business location, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
I want a
website.
Why should we bother? I want a Facebook. I want something that tells me something about your place. And so if I won't even go to a business that doesn't have any kind of online presence, why would I vote for somebody who doesn't have an online presence?
Which, think about it this way. Now, we had the nice advantage of having the mail-in ballots, which definitely it's convenient as you can possibly get in the U.S.
Yeah, you have to like request it way beforehand.
Yes.
I mean, we got our mail-in ballots like at the beginning of October.
Yeah.
So so I mean, it's like, it definitely is an easy place. And if you're one of those people that you worry about it getting lost in the mail or something like that, you can actually like drop it off at a polling station once those open, and and they get it right then and there. You hand it from your hand to their hand kind of thing. And
exactly.
so it's you don't even have to like, you don't have to mail it.
well, without having that advantage, and many people they're going to be going out, I guess, the more traditional way of just going out to the polls. Well, I do feel that they may not have the advantage of just sitting there and like, okay, who is this person for, health, sanitation, or new sheriff office?
I mean, we always think about the big ones, because those are the ones we see.
Governor, Senate,
like we hear about these ones. Those are the ones that the news station, the national news, whatever, they're always talking about, so you do your research on them, and then you go to the poll and there's like, holy shit, there's like 20 more things I'm supposed to vote on. What is all this stuff?
And as you go down this line, I want to say this too, as you go down the line of people there are closer and closer and closer towards your daily life of things that can affect your schooling.
No, definitely. I think one of the things that shocked us the most was the agriculture one. We're like, well, I mean, I see agriculture and I think that doesn't affect me. I'm not a farmer. But then we actually looked it up, and I mean, they affect gun laws in our area.
Yeah.
There was
zoning, I believe.
There was some other things that like were like big things that I'm like, wow. The gun laws was the one that like really I was like, whoa, I didn't know that they.
Yeah, and they're the small fry.
Yeah.
In fact, how small of a fry you say? Let me just put this out there. We found them, and I'm not sure if people know much about computers of our audience. We never really gauged you technically. But have you ever seen like a practice website?
I think most podcasters would probably be techie.
Yes. Yeah, they'd probably be techie enough. Okay, so they used a trial Wix site, one kid. And I think he got my vote just because he tried so darn hard. And
there was a couple we found like Wix and Squarespace. And,
yes, we saw that. From the guys higher up.
And those are the ones that actually had websites, which I think maybe we ran into 5 people that actually had a website, and this is out of 30 people.
Yeah, which I think was kind of crazy. In a way, the websites do help. They kind of somewhat said a message. I'm not going to say all of them were great, but it's better than nothing to go off of.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a name, and this is a guy or a girl, and I might not have a picture or anything like. And next to it, it might say Democrat or Republican. Not all of them did. Yeah. So, and I mean, I'm not a person that just votes majorly. I mean, obviously, a party has some to do with it. But I mean, there's a lot more than just a party that has to do with who you vote for.
What kind of kills me at this, as at the best here, we're still voting very blindly because we don't know who these people are for these, smaller cheers. But still important. You would like to have a good person in agriculture. Yeah. So what I would love to put out there is, maybe a PSA or people just to get the word out is, hey, this person didn't put anything out there. Like,
so that website that we went to a few times, which for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of it was. No. The one that had the different polling information.
Oh,
so
yes.
It pretty much, it listed everything, every state, every, whatever. It was like all of it, and everybody that, it was like a ballot. They called it ballot something.
Ballot, yeah.
But either way, whatever the name of that website was, I mean, it helped. Yeah, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It pretty much just gave us their name and maybe links, if there were some, but not always. I feel like there needs to be a YouTube for politics or something, maybe
just someone is an outreach program.
Or a Facebook for politics, something that is just geared specifically towards, hey, you put your information here.
Yeah, and if nothing else, what if? Hey, how about next time we get this term? I would love to do this. What if we were able to start getting a few people on our own podcast? I think.
Yeah. Well, we watched a couple people that actually the politics in our area that did. Did podcasts and there was a couple of where like they did interviews and things like that. We found a few that seemed to understand that. We did
find a lot from other people putting them out, not them putting themselves out. And thank you for the podcast and thank you for the news station that did that work. I would have loved to see that person. Even though you're going to get their word unfiltered about themselves, and of course they could lie about themselves. But when I don't get anything, I know I can judge something. Give me something to judge off. What do you think about yourself before this person judges you?
And these are ones that they don't always have, the debates and things like that. I mean, they're
they don't have the money for attack ads going back and forth or any ads going back and forth.
I mean, you see signs.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of signs with names, and not to mention we figured we got about 100 of those, in the mail, vote for this kind of thing. And
yes,
I mean, about 100 of them.
Flyers, these paper flyers just clogging up our house.
I know.
Vote for me, vote for me, vote for me.
I know, and that's not even including the text messages and the phone calls and the voice messages that I've gotten, or the TV ads that I've seen, the people knocking on our door. It's like, oh my God, I'm like,
I wish I'm glad we had a Ring app then, or you kind of like look at the person like, no, just go away.
The thing is, all of those things are very like the older generations, I guess. Like I don't know how to say it, but
you're right.
Previous generations,
yes.
like, but
using paper, using the we call it the feet on the ground, boots on the ground.
We're talking about 2-3 generations worth now that are. I mean, we're the older generation that is very social media. And,
we are not going over to our neighbors and bringing coffee or cupcakes.
A generation or two below us that are all voting age, that are, very much social media, very much online. Why aren't they like actually trying to reach us?
Yeah, getting engaged. I mean, like really, what I do feel like I do see enough ads and stuff like that when it comes to like YouTube now. I mean, but you see them from the big guys.
I mean, you see the TV. It's the same thing as if you were watching cable or TV. Exactly. I don't really consider that advancing.
No.
Yes, okay, they put it on to YouTube or whatever, but I mean, it's not. TV ads aren't the way to reach us. The way to reach us is going and actually making a video yourself, not just putting a freaking ad up there, but an actual video. Yeah.
You have
on
a
YouTube.
Smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone.
Doing a website, going to Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You know, I mean, whether you like Trump or not, everybody knows about him and his Twitter because he's like constantly
putting stuff out there. Yeah,
and but that's the way to reach people these days.
I felt like if I wanted to compete against especially some of these lower seats here, it would have been very easy for me to win just because I know I can make a video real quick. Or I know I can put my voice out there real quick. I wouldn't have to try that hard, but I could just make a fake name and maybe I could have curved a vote for this just because, they're not saying anything about themselves. And a lot of times we're just doing a kind of a gut judgment here of kind of what we can dig from this and I do feel like as a voter, by not getting that, at least that one, give me a good 5 minutes of you just saying, my name is Billy Bob Thornton. I don't know. You just put yourself out there. I believe in this. I believe rabbits should have free carrots for all or whatever your crazy plan is. Well, let us know who you are when we get into these sessions because I do feel like you're doing a disservice by not telling who you are, then putting your name on a piece of paper and like, okay, who do you choose? I don't know.
Right?
Is he red? Is he blue? Which a lot of people do go straight on, like, their lines. I'm against that, but whatever.
To each his own. The thing is, like, voting is the most important thing.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
That is how we put our voice out there. That's how we let them know, hey, we're not happy, or hey, we want this, or whatever. If you don't do that, then, I mean, like, I mean, we all see the news. We all know there's issues out there that maybe they're not, affecting or, reaching the issues that are actually close to your heart. So the way to get them to realize that is through voting. That is our, democracy. That's our way.
Yeah.
So you have to vote to have a voice. And
if you're looking to get votes and you're in those smaller seats, those few people that are in there, which, I'll try my best to link this out there too.
I think number one is definitely voting. Number two is understanding what you're voting for, which that's what we had a hard time doing with some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you have to do your research, you have to try at least and figure out who the heck these people are. Otherwise, like, we might put somebody, I don't want to vote for a buffoon,
Exactly. Well, let us know if you're a psychopath, a maniac. Maybe
yes, that's exactly what they're going to put on their website. Nope. I'm a psychopath. Vote for me.
Then again, from what we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised. Anywho, that's just wanted to go off of that. Something else I want to do is maybe we can give some advice for other people who may be listening, the small, the few people who do listen to us. What we think they should do as a minimum of getting themselves out there. I mean,
what you out there? How?
Okay. Let's say,
for the politicians.
Yeah, I want to run for blank position. Okay. It's a low seat position, and I think I can get it. What should I do to make other people who have no idea who the heck I am, who can vote for me? What should the first thing I should put out there in the world?
Get yourself on Google's search list for your name.
I guess that makes sense.
I mean, the thing is, it would seem easy to be like, hey, put yourself on YouTube, get a subscription on there. But honestly, it's not that easy to do. Many times I have searched for my name on YouTube, and I can't find my own, channel, so it's like, it's not easy to do that unless you're a big channel on there, so if you're a small fry, you're not going to be able to find it. So probably the easier way would be to find a way to get, your SEOs. I mean, a website, definitely.
Yeah.
A website will help you. Yeah. A website will help you with the SEO. Then, try to get it up there that up there in the list, and hey, put it out there to Google that okay, I am this person going for this seat.
Put information on there. There's a lot of metadata. That's basically, to put it down for everybody else, a very layman's terms, it's data about data. So if you have a picture,
if somebody is going to be searching based on a ballot for you, your name, first and last name, that's what's on the ballot. Mm-hmm. And then what you're running for. That is the bare minimum that you need to put there. And as long as you have that,
you can do one page.
Somebody will Google that and voila.
We'll read it. We're all right, this guy seems like he's a perfectly functioning human being.
So I'd say probably website would be
the number one thing to definitely have on there.
Maybe even, one of the places we didn't try to look was LinkedIn. I wonder if a lot of politicians.
A lot of them did not have LinkedIn. I did search.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. See, that's another one. That's a professional network. That's meant for those kind of things.
For those who do not know what or who or how LinkedIn works, basically, imagine having a social media platform for your resume.
It's a resume or CVV, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and their politicians are looking to get hired for a job, right?
Yeah.
This should be the number one area that they should be at.
For sure, and I mean, you can do videos and all sorts of things on LinkedIn now that, you couldn't do before. So I mean, I didn't even think about checking there, but that would be definitely a big place to go.
And easier if I Google search your LinkedIn profile will pop up just like most social media sites, and it lays it out for you how you should format who you are in this, and it kind of answers those questions. So it's like if there to be a second place, I would actually still want to put that one first. Do a LinkedIn just because you'll now know what to do with your website. You'll have most of the content kind of explained of what to put down, and then they'll help you fill your website. I mean,
your website does not need to be big or flashy or whatever. If you're a smaller person in this big kettle of the politician world, and it just needs to tell people, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm running for. This is what I believe in. This is how you can contact me, and voila.
Oh, I'll give you the secret sauce for web design. Take a nice picture of yourself and somewhere with you on the left side of the picture or the right side of the picture.
Yeah, have somebody else take this picture of you, not you.
That would be hard. Don't do a selfie. Don't do a selfie, please. No. A selfie for mayor.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm cool like the cool kids, yes. No. But have yourself to the left or the right of the picture, leave the center open, and then when you take a picture and you put this on the web, you can leave that space for your message in text right there. You don't have to do much more than that. That's just like the secret sauce to web design. You put yourself on the left or right side, put your message. We make magic happen. That's your campaign speech, whatever, or thing. There you go. But have yourself from left to right, landscape, text in the middle, you're golden. We get your message.
Yep. So I was just thinking about I wonder what we would call a political selfie. So what about like a
Politicky?
Polyself?
Polyself? A polyself.
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness. Hashtag polyself.
Trump's taking all the polyselfs here. Just here hanging in my garage.
I mean, come on. That would be a nice way to get yourself out there. If somebody created a hashtag for like a political selfie.
Actually, you know what? Number 3, hashtags. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
None of these guys are probably popping up anywhere, and probably an easy way they pop up is just simply having a hashtag named after you. If it's a quirky word that no one else saying or a phrase that you're coming up with, other people say it by accident and your face pops up. I mean, oh my goodness. Under using hashtags, that you got to try it out. You got to use it. I think that's definitely something being underutilized. And 2, talk to your kids, especially if you're in like judge positions. I get it. We're all getting older, but your
that
kids,
is kind of how life works.
Exactly. But these kids that are around your kids' age are voting for you, and maybe you're not as hip and as cool as you used to be. Actually, kids, how are they getting information?
You don't need to be you don't need to be hip and cool, but if you want to reach that part of the voter base, which is a pretty decent size of the voter base.
Yeah, because they're looking at your name too.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about we're on the high end of millennials, but we're still talking about good 20 years worth of, from millennials down to the 18-year-olds, 20 years, right, of different ages, but all of them have been raised in one way or another on this highly social media platform technology world. That's a lot of people that you're not reaching if you aren't on the internet.
Yes. So if you're thinking at the point of, am I doing good enough? Maybe just open up your mind and just say, what if I could do better?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do what Obama did, where he had his, he put an ad in a video game or whatever. You don't have to go that crazy. Yeah. It's
put an ad in a video game?
You didn't know about that? Yeah. He, okay, it was a racing game, apparently. I think it was Need for Speed or something.
Oh,
and he had, the billboards that are on there. He put, his ad in it. And I thought that was pretty funny, but...
I mean, that's thinking outside the box. You got to get
but you have to have a lot of money to do something like that.
Oh, you just have the right connections.
Right?
Hey, Blizzard, I want to have my name. I want to be on top of
the world.
World of Warcraft, and it's just me coming out of the tower going, yes, vote for me.
Yeah. So, you don't have to go all that crazy, but, you do have to think okay, how do I reach this generation of, the kids that are on social media? And I mean, not even kids. I mean, we're not kids, but we're on social media.
Exactly.
And
think about when we actually come down and look at your name. Who will know who you are? And just to have that little thing will just help you set yourself apart. And when you go into other positions, you just gotta do it once. If you're gonna rerun again, we'll find that video of you of 6 years ago running for the same dang position or whatever, you trying again. You just gotta do it once for the time you're doing it, or maybe again if you're depending on how the situation goes. Last thing I want to put out there, which I think is last, unless you have another one.
What?
A Facebook business profile page. This was absent from all of those.
Yeah, they were all like personal profile pages.
Exactly.
I don't know if Facebook, I probably should look into it, but Facebook, when you create a Facebook business account, I don't know how many of you have ever done that. I've created a few, like a lot.
Yeah.
I think probably like 10.
I've
created
done a few.
Anyhow,
I've done a few myself.
So, the when you go there, they have different categories for your business. Where do you fall into? And you can click on, they have like 6 main categories, and you can click on it and kind of like subcategorize it for the most part, and, I don't know if they have one that is under politics. I do know that, 2 years ago when during the last election, that when we had new people over Florida or whatever, it was like, hey, you've got these new people, do you want to follow them on Facebook? Like, oh, okay. So it knew political, that these are my new political candidates based upon where I live, and it was all like, you want to follow them. So I would assume there's probably a category on there the way when you create a business account that, hey, like,
kind of gets the idea.
It's a political category. I don't know entirely because I've never created a political category business account. But hey, there are a lot of people, me too, who you can hire to build you one of these things if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah, could you imagine just receiving an email at itcouple.com? itcouplepodcast.com or at itcouple.podcast, and it's saying something of, hey, can you help me out with my campaign next year? And then just keep going over like, oh, let me go get you to Laura. She actually does do that. Then, that's what were you talking about?
Maybe we'll start with you, and I'll work on building your political. Your political. What are you going to run for?
I'm gonna run for whoever is doing the weakest promoting. Apparently, that's all I need to do. Like, oh, you don't have a Facebook page. Oh, I got him. But okay.
No, I mean, you are actually going to go for a political spot.
Yes, I'm gonna go for mayor. I'm gonna go for mayor. There we go.
Mayor?
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do.
Your shirt says you're gonna run for president.
Yes, but they don't know about my shirt.
They do now.
Anywho, what I want to do is this: be on here, be the voice for people, and talk to people and connect. I mean, we're a very unique podcast. We are a couples podcast, and we're a couple that's not strangling each other, which is I think pretty good.
Well, yeah, every now and again.
Okay, today you did try to strangle me.
Didn't.
Okay, so here's what happened.
No, we're not going to get into it. Okay. But yes, we do have arguments every now and again, once in a blue moon. Actually, we're going to be celebrating our 11th anniversary coming up soon.
Yes, real soon.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty big.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride, like really, really. Like you think about it, like it's a feeling of you don't know. It's not like I've been tracking the time all the way here. It just feels like it's always been.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, like it's been very new. Like it's hard to describe. Like it's still very fresh. And I still want to do even more together. And
great, because we got the rest of our lives.
Yes.
To do this podcast.
Yes. This podcast is part of that list. Okay. So I think we covered a good wide variety. One, our endless amounts of paper and advertisement that we get.
We have a pile.
Yeah, we got from the people. Yet we did not get very good information from their online campaign of them speaking about themselves. That's something we covered. We gave suggestions of what they can do to improve that for them in the future so that we, the people who want to vote for them with their names on the ballot, are informed of saying, hey, you know what? I actually do like the fact that he likes potatoes, that I like potatoes. Maybe he's a potato-liking guy, and and I can feel that from him. If not, then, it's
a lot easier to vote for somebody that you, like, know something about than it is just a name.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see just a name, I don't want to vote for that person.
I'm just a name.
Yeah. So it's like I want to actually vote for a real life person. Like I want to know this person is like a real real person.
Because in the back of our minds, here's what we're thinking. Oh, this person could be the wrong person. And you find out, oh, man, I voted for him.
I know,
that
right?
person's a butthole. Why did I could have voted for the other guy if we only had a Facebook page.
Oh, they have a name.
Sorry, I'm bit barking. It's the season.
Cold has been running through our family. Our daughter brought it home from school.
Yes.
And then it kind of exasperated us this weekend, or got us, and I don't know. We're a little hoarse.
Yeah, we're continuing the fight.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered the main thing I wanted to cover. I do want to thank everybody. If you have listened all the way this far, I want to give you a special thank you. Thank you for continuing to watch the show. We have hit 1,000.
Watch it.
1,001.
They're watching it.
They're watching it.
They're listening.
They're staring at their freaking phones.
Yeah, we got
the wiggly line.
1.1. We got 1.1K all time. Which we've only been doing this for 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah, just about.
We think that's pretty decent for. We had no fan base other than family, maybe, and I think all of our family has stopped listening to it because they just aren't podcast people.
And plus, I think we're a little too close, so kind of like getting an hour of us, like we'll just give them a call. What are they talking about? Xavier, what were you talking about? And it's a different scenario. But
yeah.
It's nice to know that we're entertaining someone out there that there's someone listening out there in the void.
That we're not just talking to each other.
Well,
we do it all the time, so it's not such a big deal.
yes. We decided to make it public for people.
Yes. Yep. That was the whole point.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up so we can.
I think we've been trying to wrap it up for the last 10 minutes.
Yes. That is true. This has been the longest wrap up of it.
Wrap it up.
All right. So thank you for listening, and until next time, everyone, take it easy.
See ya.
Also, we have a Patreon page. Just FYI, Patreon page. Bye bye.